Durham argues Sussman lying to FBI mattered as Clinton lawyer pushed collusion claims. It's interesting to watch this thing play out. Again, I've been saying I don't really think anyone is going to get any time for this. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out. Also, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and click that alarm bell so you know when I put out new stuff. And also check out my link tree that's in the description that has links to my Patreon where we talk about things that I can't talk about here. And there's also a link to my merch store where we got Let's Go Brandon t-shirts and I Will Not Comply t-shirts, all types of t-shirts. And it's all made here in-house, so everything that you purchase, it goes to support what we're doing here. All right, let's talk about this news. John Durham is arguing that a Democratic cybersecurity lawyer's alleged lies to the FBI while pushing refuted collusion claims in 2016 really did not matter, as the defendant tries to throw out the case by claiming he did not lie, and even if he did, the lie was immaterial. I mean, the audacity of these people. But Michael Sussmann was indicted last year on charges of concealing his client's Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign and tech executive one, known to be a former New Star executive, Rodney Jaffe, from FBI General Counsel James Baker, when he pushed since debunked claims of a secret back channel between the Trump organization and Russia's Alpha Bank. And you know, on my old channel, I reported all of this on in nauseum, how this whole Alpha Bank thing was created. This whole thing was fake from the beginning, and people was calling me a liar and all this other stuff. And now all this stuff coming to light that it was true. Everything about this whole Russia thing was made up. But Sussman denies wrongdoing, pleaded not guilty, and called upon a federal judge to dismiss the case against him last month, even relying in part on legal analysis by fired FBI agent Peter Strzok. The special counsel fired back Friday, quote, "The defendant's false statement to the FBI general counsel was plainly material because it misled the general counsel about, among other things, the critical fact that the defendant was disseminating highly explosive allegations about a then presidential candidate on behalf of two specific clients, one of which was the opposing presidential campaign," Durham wrote. Quote, "The defendant's effort to mislead the FBI in this matter during the height of a presidential election season plainly could have influenced the FBI's decision-making in any number of ways." Durham said if Sussman had told the truth, it could have affected how the FBI chose to proceed with options including a full investigation, a preliminary investigation, and assessment, delaying until after the election, or declining to investigate altogether, noting that, quote, "the sources of and origins of the information matter to the FBI." Quote, "Here had the defendant truthfully informed the FBI general counsel that he was providing the information on behalf of one or more clients, as opposed to merely acting as a good citizen, the FBI general counsel and other FBI personnel might have asked a multitude of additional questions material to the case in the case initiation process, Durham wrote. Quote, "They might have asked, for example, whether the defendant clients harbored any political biases or business motives that might cast doubt on the reliability of the information." And that's true. If they knew that he was actually working on behalf of the Hillary Clinton campaign, a smart FBI agent would have been like, "Okay, do you got any conflict of interest? You know, can we really trust this information because it's coming from the opposite campaign?" But Durham revealed last month that he has evidence that Sussman's other client, Jaffe, exploited domain name system internet traffic at Trump Tower, and I talked about that, with Trump's Central Park West apartment building and the executive office of the president. The special counsel said in October that Jaffe exploited his own company's access to the sensitive internet data of high-ranking executive branch office of the U.S. government, both before and after the presidential election. And that's big right there, because that shows that they literally spied on the president of the United States. If that don't send shockwaves through your spine, then nothing will. Because if they do it to him, you best believe they're doing it to you. A Sussmann lawyer said last month that he met with the FBI in September 2016, quote, to pass along information that raised national security concerns, and characterized this as simply, quote, to provide a tip. They are full of crap. The lawyers contended that Sussmann was, quote, charged with making a false statement about an entirely ancillary matter about who his client may have been when he met with the FBI, which is a fact that even the special counsel's own indictment fails to allege, and any effect on the FBI's decision to open an investigation. Durham said, quote, the defendant made a false statement directly to the FBI general counsel on a matter that was anything but ancillary, I can never say that word, namely the existence of attorney-client relationship that would have shed critical light on the origins of the allegations at issue. The special counsel stressed that Sussmann's alleged lie was capable of influencing both the FBI decision to initiate an investigation and its subsequent conduct of the investigation. Mr. Sussmann did not make any false statements to the FBI, Sussmann defense team claimed, but in any event, the false statement alleged in the indictment is immaterial as a matter of law, furthermore allowing this case to go forward with risk criminalizing ordinary conduct. Raise First Amendment concerns, dissuade honest citizens from coming forward with tips, and chill the advocacy of lawyers who interact with government. They are slick, aren't they? These lawyers are slick. But Durham said that the argument was nonsense, quote, far from finding himself in the vulnerable position of an ordinary person. Far from finding himself in a vulnerable position of an ordinary person whose speech is likely to be chilled. The defendant, a sophisticated and well-known connected lawyer, chose to bring politically charged allegations to the FBI chief legal officer at the height of an election season. It's totally true. They try to make like this guy not some elitist lawyer. Like, you know, come on now. Like he's just some Joe Blow regular citizen coming up with some information that he has. They're slick. These people are slick. I gotta tell you. He then chose to lie about the client who were behind those allegations. The special counsel wrote, quote, using such a rare access to the halls of power for the purposes of political deceit is hardly the type of speech that the founders intended to protect. Amen. I love that. I love that statement that Durham put out. But Durham noted Friday that Jaffe had a history of providing assistance to the FBI on cybersecurity matters, but decided in this instance to provide politically charged allegations anonymously through the defendant and a law firm that was then counsel to the Clinton campaign. Jaffe revealed in a deposition last month that he invoked his Fifth Amendment rights when asked to testify in front of Durham's grand jury. Durham has also said Sussmann told a U.S. government agency, widely believed to be the CIA, about the phony Russian bank connection in February 2017, in a February 2017 meeting where Sussmann again alleged misled about who his client was. The special counsel said Sussmann claimed that the data he had access to demonstrated that Trump and or his associates were using supposedly rare Russian-made wireless phones in the vicinity of the White House and other locations. Durham emphasized that he found no support for these allegations, and we talked about that. The special counsel said Jaffe exploited his access to non-public and or proprietary internet data and tasked researchers to mine internet data to establish an inference and narrative tying Trump to Russia. Durham said Jaffe indicated that he was doing this to please certain VIPs on the Clinton campaign. The Clinton campaign touted the Alpha Bank claims in the closing days of 2016 election, but Special Counsel Robert Mueller, the FBI, and a bipartisan Senate Intelligence Community investigation did not uncover evidence of its veracity. And the mainstream media, some of them are still pushing this Russian collusion stuff to this day. I can't believe they're still doing it, but they still saying that Trump colluded with Russia with absolutely zero evidence. Is tons of evidence to the contrary, but they're still pushing this narrative in 2022. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out democrepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.